All right, welcome back. What we're going to do in this next chapter is we're going to talk about some of the self-service solutions that Liferay has available for generating new pages rapidly and creating a good user experience for your users. Okay. In Liferay, there are sort of reusable options that we can use to do things a lot more efficiently. When we were building our document types in chapter 2, for example, like I mentioned, we can create those metadata sets that can be reused on different document types, making the entire process more efficient if there are things that can be reused. Okay. Likewise, we have these templates that are available that allow us to do the same thing. So for example, if I needed to create different kinds of pages for my site, they might be landing pages, they might be marketing pages or product pages or different things like that. I can create predefined templates that will allow me to rapidly generate those pages whenever the need arises. Okay. The same is true of sites. If I have sites that need to have a similar structure, I can create a site template that allows me to rapidly generate those sites when the need arises. Okay. For Livingston Hotels and Resorts, that's going to be a common experience. There are going to be, hopefully, as the business grows, new hotels, new resorts popping up all over the world, and we want to be ready when those are coming out. We want to make sure that we have those sites created quickly. We want to make sure that content is created quickly, and we want to make sure that that process is as efficient as possible. Okay, no bottlenecks. That would be the ideal. Now, page templates are specifically for individual pages, like I mentioned earlier. Okay. Now, there are two types of page templates, and this is actually new to 7.1. There are content page templates, and there are widget page templates. Okay. So this is going to reflect the change in the new page creation that we just saw in the last chapter. Okay. We can create content page templates that are templates that have fragments on them. Okay. So for example, if we wanted to have a landing page template using our page fragments, we can create what's called a content page template for that. We can add the fragments to the page, we can reuse it whenever it is necessary, and just edit the fragments as needed. Okay, so it's a nice and fast way to build some of those templates using the fragments. Alternatively, if we want to go ahead and have pages using some of the widgets that are necessary, we can do web content, any of the other assets. There are things like navigation, or categories navigation, or tags navigation, or any of those other kinds of widgets. We can create a widget page template, and it would have that widget structure that we can just simply create quickly and add content to. Now, page templates have an option that allow us to inherit changes on our different pages. Okay. Now, when the inherit changes option is turned on, what this does is it connects our created page to our page template. Okay. So the connection is there. I call it a hard link. And when the hard link is there, administrators cannot edit this created page. Okay. Any changes that need to be done are done through the page template and then inherited on the created page. Okay. So this is sort of a double-edged sword here. Okay. Either on one hand, it can make things faster, or on the other hand, it could just be something that you don't need to do. Okay. So why is that? If I turn inherit changes on and I have that hard link, what that will do is if I have, let's say, 5, 10, 20, 50 pages that are hard linked to the page template, I can update the page template once with maybe new widgets or new fragments or whatever that might be, and it will propagate to all of my other pages that were created. Okay, so that's a one-stop shop and updates everything. So that sounds great. Okay. However, there are going to be instances where you need to have the page template used as a starting point, but at the end of the day, they're going to be a little bit different. They may need to be modified, have some different changes, and that's where you might want to have inherit changes turned off. Okay, so that way when you create the page, it's going to give you that starting point from the page template, but you don't need to worry about what's happening in the page template. You can just sort of take what's here and run with it. Okay, so keep that in mind. Page templates can have a hard link between them using the inherit change option. Okay. Now there are also site templates, and site templates are for multiple pages. So it's for what's called a page set. So if you're not familiar with that term in Liferay, a page set is either for public pages or private pages in any given site. Okay. Now, These pages can have layouts, they can have widgets, they can have content displayed on them. You can actually have actual content stored in a site template as well. Okay, so that's going to be a major difference between page templates and site templates. Okay, so for example, in a site template, if I had that Livingston banner that we saw, I could create that in my site template, and then every time I create a site using the template, that sort of dummy content will always be there. Okay, this will be true for all of the assets. This will be true for the fragments as well. Okay, so site templates are going to be a bit more general. We can have multiple sites created. Obviously, the use case for Livingston hotels and resorts is clear. We could have a hotel site template. We could have a resort site template. These can have certain pages set up, front pages, landing pages set up for the particular hotels and resorts. And every time a new hotel or resort site needs to come up, we can generate it quickly using a site template and just modify it and make it fit the branding of that particular hotel or resort. Site templates are going to differ a little bit from our page templates when it comes to that link. So I just mentioned that page templates have the hard links. Site templates, on the other hand, are going to be able to have what's called, or what I call, a soft link. Okay. Now in site templates, the option is just called something like enable propagation of changes, and it's going to be a little bit different. Okay. Now the reason I call it a soft link is because in a site template, when you create a new site with that option turned on, you actually can still modify the site that was created. Okay. And what it will do is, instead of just not allowing you changes at all, is it will allow you to change. And for administrators, they'll see an option at the top that says essentially that this site has been changed since you created it. Do you want to revert to the site template? Okay. So at that point, you have a few options. You can either change it back, okay, or you could go ahead and just continue modifying. And if it's a modification that's going to benefit all of the sites using that site template, if they're all connected, of course, you can update the site template and it will propagate those changes outward. Okay. So it's a way of having the ability to modify some things or being able to sync it back up to the site template. Okay. That's why I call it a soft link. It is still a link. It is still a connection. You can have that kind of interaction, but it does not stop administrators from making changes that they need to make on any given site generated from one of these site templates. Okay. So big picture, page templates have hard links. Site templates are going to have what I call soft links. All right, so let's go ahead and look at a few options together for creating some page templates for the Livingston site that we can go ahead and use across our different hotel sites. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and create a widget page template. Okay, so again, that's a page template that specifically has widgets on them as opposed to page fragments. Okay. Open up the site administration section here, and we're going to create a page template in the global site. So click on the site selector here, okay, which is going to be that compass again. Click on My Sites and click on Global. All right. All right, we'll see our page templates option. This, by the way, is going to be a little bit different for those of you who are coming from a previous version of Liferay. In Liferay 7.0 and before, the page templates were all handled in the control panel alongside site templates. Okay. In Liferay 7.1, page templates for widget pages and for content pages are going to be handled in the context of a site. Now, as of right now, as of this build, what we can do is we can create page templates for widgets in the global site, and they'll apply everywhere. Okay. However, fragment page templates are going to be something that are created only at a specific site level. Okay. Now, it's easy to export and import fragments into different sites as needed, but because we don't have the ability to create page fragments in the global site, we also don't currently have the ability to create fragment page templates in the global site either. Okay. But you can create them. They're just going to have to be done at the individual site level. Okay. So this is going to feel a bit more like the traditional page template experience if you're coming from a previous version of Liferay, where we can create a page template that is used across all of our different sites. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and add a new page template. Okay. So click on the Add button at the top right. We're going to name this hotel location. Oops. location landing page. Okay. We can add a description here. Okay, we'll say a landing page for the various hotel location sites. And go ahead and click save. Okay, so once we're here, we're gonna go ahead and change the layout here of our page. We're gonna add some widgets onto the page here, and then we can go ahead and reuse this for our different sites. Okay. So click on the configure page option, which is gonna be at the very top. It's gonna be that little cog there. Okay. And this is how we can change the layout of any individual page. Okay. For our purposes, we're going to go ahead and find the 1-2-1 columns 50-50 here. Okay, so it's going to be at the third section down to the left, and click save. Okay. All right, so from here we can go ahead and click on the add button at the top right, open up that widget section. Okay. Click on highlighted, and what we'll do is we will add a web content display at the very top. Again, check out that blue bar to make sure you can see it. So what we can do here is we can actually add sort of a dummy banner. We created the Livingston banner, and we can actually place that in our page template display as well. Okay. So for this top web content display, go ahead and click on options and configuration. Okay. Click on select web content. All right, and we'll see that we have the Livingston banner and feature hotels available from their individual sites. Okay, so let's click on Livingston banner and click save. We can exit out of this. Okay, now we're not going to see it on here, but now anytime we use this page template, we will see that banner show up as well. Let's go ahead and also change the look and feel of this top guy here. So it's just the banner. We don't want the borders. We don't want the web content display title. Click on options, look and feel configuration. Okay. And we'll change what are called the application decorators from decorate to barebone. Okay. And then go to click save. Okay, we can exit out of that. I'll go ahead and refresh here, and we'll now see that there are no borders or title for this. So now when we add this, we'll see the banner and only the banner for that first top section of the page. Okay. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add some more to this page within the layout that we added. So go ahead and click on add again and open up highlighted under widgets. Okay. Go ahead and drag an asset publisher to the bottom right here. Again, you should see that blue bar to indicate where it is. And the web content display to the bottom left. Okay. And finally, we're going to add a language selector at the very bottom section. Okay. So you can either find the language selector in these different categories, or you can use the search bar here to just simply type language. You should see the language selector show up. And we can go ahead and place that at the very bottom of the page. So once we have this, we are good to go with our page template. We don't need to press save here or anything like that. It's going to be saved for us. So let's go ahead and create a landing page for our Livingston Hotels at Bali site. Okay, so go ahead and open up the menu, click on the site selector in the site administration panel, click on My Sites. All right. And if you remember, we made the Bali site a child site of the Livingston Hotels and Resorts site. So click on the One Child Sites link underneath that, and go ahead and choose the Livingston Resort at Bali. Okay. All right. So now that we're here in the Pages section, which should be where you have gone by default, we can go ahead and click on the Add button. Okay. And you'll see an option here for global templates. So go ahead and choose global templates and go ahead and select hotel location landing. We're just going to name this home and click submit. All right. All right, now we can go ahead and click on go to site, and we see our banner and we have our widgets down here below. Okay, finally, let's go ahead and create a new site for the Livingston Resort at Barcelona, and we can quickly generate our new homepage here as well. So this is just start to finish. How quickly can we get this going? Okay, this just shows that we can very rapidly generate new sites with new home pages. Again, we can use site templates as well to do it a little bit more extensively. You can also use page templates in site templates as well, so keep that in mind. Okay. All right, so go ahead and click on the menu. Open up that menu there. Go to Control Panel, Sites, and Sites. Okay. Just like we did earlier on in the first chapter, we're going to create a child site for the Livingston Hotels and Resorts. So click on the Options menu next to Livingston Hotels and Resorts. Click Add Child Site. Okay. All right, these are site templates, by the way. The community and intranet site. For our purposes, we're just going to do a blank site so we can add our own home page. Okay. Go ahead and name this Livingston Resort at Barcelona. Okay. And click Submit. Now that this is created, we're going to already be moved over to our new site in the site administration panel. Here we can go ahead and click on Pages in the Build section. Okay. Click on Add, Global Templates. Okay. And boom, we can already create our hotel location landing page, and this will be our new home page. So click on that. For the name, let's go ahead and name it Home. Nice and easy. Click on Submit. All right, and we can go ahead and click on Go to Site. And sure enough, our new site will have our new home landing page. All right, so let's go ahead and recap this section here. Okay. We do have some tools in Liferay that allow us to rapidly generate our sites and the site pages. Okay, these can be done through page templates and site templates. Okay, now page templates allow us to create our predefined sets of either widgets or fragments that we can reuse. There's also an inherit changes option that allows us to provide a hard link between the page template and the actual page that we create. Okay. And what that means is we need to update the template to make changes to the actual page. All right. Now, site templates are similar in that you can also create multiple pages. So this will be for a page set instead of an individual page. And you can set those up with fragments, content, widgets, whatever you need as well. And we can also provide a link for that as well, but I called that a soft link because administrators can go ahead and still continue to make changes on a site that is connected to a site template, and they can go ahead and sync it back up to the template if they ever want to go back to what the template has by default. Okay, so page templates will lock down a page. Site templates have a little bit more flexibility, but both of these options allow you to very quickly generate new sites and new pages as needed in order to meet those market demands. All right, so that was it for this section here. When we come back in the next video, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the Asset Publisher, which is a very special tool in Liferay that allows us to essentially set up what we like to call self-publishing pages. Okay, that allow us to provide a process where once something is created and gone through its workflow, been reviewed, copy edited, you can go in and just hit the page where it is designated right away.